Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Iredell Statesville Schools Ed Talk. Our guest today is Miss Amy Rhyne, the principal of East Iredell Elementary School. Miss Rhyne, welcome this morning. Thanks for carving some time out to be on the show.
Sure, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, I know East Iredell Elementary School is a school to watch. You are growing very, very rapidly out there. How long have you been principal at East now?
This is my 5th year at East Elementary as principal.
Right. And when you got there, your student population was in the range of about 500 students.
Yes, correct.
And this year you're topping out at what?
Nearly 900, almost 900 students.
So the school has almost doubled under your watch, and lots of great things going on out there too.
Yes.
I visited the school one of the first days of school, and I had not heard about what you're calling Operation Possible. So when I walked in and went around the corner, I saw you in scrubs, and I thought, wow, now that's a little different for a school day.
Right.
But tell us about Operation Possible.
Well, this summer we talked about, over the last 4 years, we have aligned the language for academics, we've aligned the language for Leader in Me, and so we talked about how do we continue to do that on a large scale, and so we came up with a theme. And we were setting goals and talking about the possibilities of what children could do at our school and helping them understand the long-term goals and where they could go. So we came up with the theme Operation Possible. And in doing so, last year I'd heard a teacher in her classroom talk about how they were math surgeons and taking numbers and taking them apart and adding them and putting them together, and talking about how they were reading or language arts surgeons and how they decoded words and took them apart and put them together. And so that's where we thought, well, this would be great to tie in some of that language, because we talk about how we use data before it's too late to save lives, and it's the same kind of concept. So Operation Possible was the theme. And on the first days of school, our leadership team, we wore scrubs and we went around and talked to the kids about how the staff was going to be like brain surgeons this year and fill their heads full of knowledge without having to use a scalpel. Yeah. And then we also talked about how we were going to be like heart surgeons and teach them how to love one another and become a community. And so we wore the scrubs because our children are young, and a lot of times that visual helps them remember what we're doing and what we're about. So we began with talking about setting goals for the kids, creating plans that they could be anything they wanted to be. We took the word impossible and showed them how when you break it apart it says I'm possible. And so we're bringing in the lessons, we tie in the writing activities, what do you want to be, where do you see yourself in 20 years? And we bring in community members to talk to them about future careers and goals and things that they could do. And instead of waiting until they're older in high school to do that, we're actually doing that as young as 5 years old. I'm talking to the children about the possibilities. Yes,
that's remarkable. Now I know since you've been there at East, you have implemented the Leader in Me, which is a character education program. I wonder if you could talk to us a little bit about Leader in Me, because it's gone really, really well at your school.
Right. And it's actually just a framework of children understanding how to change their habits. A lot of times when we're young, we start habits, whether they're good or bad. And so this helps them understand to take the right path, being proactive, you know, instead of being reactive when somebody starts talking about you, or you're frustrated because you got a bad grade or something didn't go well. A lot of times when they're coming from homes, things are very different. So we teach them how to take that at school and learn to become a very different person and take that back out into the community. We also are training their parents on how to use the same language and using those habits. And our office referrals, actually, an example I can give right now, last September we had around 35 office referrals. This September we had 4. Wow. So it really is changing. Kids are learning to be proactive and synergizing and trying to understand where other kids are coming from before they just react. And we use examples that they understand as young as, if you had a tube of toothpaste and you squeeze the toothpaste, you know, it's already out, you can't put it back in without creating that mess. Or the wrinkled heart, you know, once you've put the wrinkles in, you can try to take them back out, but it still leaves an impression. So you try to be proactive before you leave those marks on people.
I know one of the things that I've noticed when I visit the school is a lot of children have roles that they're assigned. You got greeters, you got folks that'll stand up and shake your hand when you walk in, say, welcome to my classroom. Right. You got kids that'll take you on tours of the building and whatnot. So it seems like every child in the school has found a job.
Yes, it's a leadership role. Every child, 5th grade and even 4th grade, do school-wide roles. But we also have classroom roles from kindergarten through 5th grade, so that they can also be a part of leading in their classroom. We have student leadership teams where they give input. We have student mentors who go and work with younger children. They are trained by our assistant principal and some of the males in the building, and now we've expanded that to the females because it was so effective last year. And so they will actually go to younger children and help work with them when they're having a good day or even a bad day. They help them really think through how to make better choices and become a leader at 5 and 6 years old. They also, we've expanded that to the buses. They have bus mentors, so that when you have a child who's having a hard time on the bus, that they can work with them and talk to them about how they can become a leader and make better choices before they react. So.
Now, I know that you are a principal that embraces the use of student data, and you and your staff have done a remarkable job of customizing instruction based on student data. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
Well, we have, first of all, we start with the district triangle, asking the questions about how to use the data. What if the kids already know it? What if they don't know it? And what are we going to do from there in creating a plan? But we also follow the RTI or MTSS model, where every assessment that we give, we look at the student skills and their gaps to determine where, or even their strengths, to determine where to go next with those children, so that every child has almost an individual plan. Some are in small groups working on phonics, while another one may be working on phonemic awareness. They move across the grade level. It's not just within their own classroom. So the teachers meet every week and sometimes twice a week just to figure out where kids are and if they need to move children, as opposed to waiting until mid-year when half a year's already gone by. They don't just do that with just academics, they do that with behaviors to see if there's other things we can put into place to improve something or the situation for a child. The thing that they also do constantly, and that's progress monitoring. Every week they look at where children are, look at their data, and see what they need to do to help those kids. If they need a little bit more instruction, if it's 5 minutes while the kids are transitioning to get in line, they keep that kid to the side for 5 more minutes, just to give them that extra dose of what they need.
That's really going beyond the call, looking at the individual needs of every child and maximizing the class data to squeeze as much time and energy out of each day as you possibly can. That's remarkable.
It takes a special person to be a teacher, but especially at a Title I school. I have a great staff. Things would not be where they are because of just me. This is a staff thing. It takes the whole staff. So recently, I will say we went out, we decided to put the paperwork aside the last 2 Tuesdays, and we went out into the community and took recess equipment and snacks and juices and things of that nature and just sharpened the saw with the kids. We just played and rode bikes and jumped ropes, and just so they could see the other side too, as we're building relationships, because kids don't know, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Amen. That's so true. Yes. I know you folks at East, too, have put a major emphasis on customer service and treating your parents as customers. And this year, your staff won the first annual award that's given by the district for customer service. You do have a remarkable staff there that really goes out of their way to be customer friendly and interact well with the public when they come into the building and everything. Tell us a little bit about your office staff there.
They're amazing. If you've never called or visited our school, you need to call when Miss Loretta answers the phone. Yeah. If it's raining, it may be that she says, "It's a ducky day," or she's always just motivating kids to do their best during announcements. We have color days for enhancements, and she wears the colors to remind the kids what day it is. They just go peek at her to see if they've forgotten, or they just go beyond the call of duty. Miss Colleen, and our bookkeeper, you never see her without a smile on her face, ever. I can say I've never seen her without a smile. And Miss Moore, a lot of the kids think she's the principal. Today she's kissing a goat because they met their goal for a spirit night. So they'll do anything to help the school be the best around.
That's just remarkable. It is such a friendly, welcoming environment at your school. Everybody that I talk to walks away with a great impression. So kudos to you and your staff for making that happen. Now, you are one of our choice option schools. You and your staff run our dual immersion program, a Spanish dual immersion program. A lot of folks don't know what that means. Explain to us what a Spanish dual immersion program is.
We have, starting in kindergarten, students can become bilingual. They will begin learning Spanish all day long, 100% of the day, other than enhancements, so really 90% of the day. And they will have a teacher who is from a native country, and they learn to speak the true language, true Spanish language, as opposed to our southern accent Spanish that we do sometimes. And in 1st through 5th grade, they have A-Day, B-Day, where they'll do Spanish one day and English one day. And they don't repeat the curriculum. They actually do lesson 1.1 on A-Day, 1.2 in Spanish on B-Day, 1.3 in English on the 3rd day. So it's a natural progression. Our children are outperforming the district and the state who are actually in the dual immersion program. They are also expanding that over to our English classrooms to help with a true global awareness, sense of global awareness, because our children who are in the Reg Ed program, they don't learn Spanish every day. The parent chooses that that's not the option for their child, and that's okay. But they still learn to appreciate the diversity because they actually see the kids switching classes and they want to be a part of that. So, but it's brought in, we have a waiting list to get in the program in 1st and in kinder so far. Our first group of 5th graders, now 6th graders, are at the middle school where we've expanded that program based on feedback from the parents. And it's just changed the whole climate of our school. It brought a lot of children back and started the changes for the climate changes, but it actually spilled over into the Reg Ed, and our Reg Ed program is just as full because people in the community are saying it's not just the dual immersion program that makes East special, it's the whole school. But it's unique, and our 3rd graders 2 years ago outperformed West Iredell High School's AP class, or Spanish Level 4 class, in reading, writing, and speaking Spanish.
Now that's truly remarkable when you can have 3rd graders outperforming advanced placement high school students.
Yes.
I heard about that,
Yes.
and that gives you a lot of bragging rights.
Right.
Sure does. Well, Ms. Rhyne, thank you so much for being here today. East Iredell Elementary School is a jewel in the crown of the Iredell Statesville schools. I mean that sincerely. And you have done a remarkable job there, you and your staff, of turning that school into a place that is kid-friendly and where you are truly focused on the individual learning goals of every single child. So I commend you for that.
Thank you, and I am blessed to be a part of it.
I appreciate that positive attitude. Well, folks, if you would like more information about East Iredell Elementary School, please visit their website. It's located on our homepage. And call the school, too, if you'd like to go on a tour. They do lots of tours out there and have folks from all over the state who visit the school to check out the dual immersion program and the Leader in Me program. They really have become a school to watch, not only in our community, but across the entire state. And we are extremely proud of Ms. Ryan and her staff and all of the families that make up East Iredell Elementary School. Thanks for watching.